Meaning of slope for equations, graphs, and tables. If an equation is of the form y equals mx plus b, we say it is in the slope-intercept form. M is the slope of the line, b is the y-intercept, and can be written in the format of 0, b. Vertical change property. For the line y equals mx plus b, the run is 1, then the rise is the slope. So for a positive slope, if the run is 1, then the rise is m. If it's a negative slope, the run is 1, and then you drop m. In this example, some values of a linear equation are provided, and we need to complete the table. We have all the x-coordinates, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. And then we have the point 2114 and 2423. For the slope, we have rise over run. We know that the run is going to be equal to 1 since each coordinate for x goes up by 1. That means whatever we find for the slope will be our change in y. Using our slope formula, m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, we can find the change in y. For my y's, I'm going to have 23 minus 14, and then for the x, 24 minus 21. 23 minus 14 is 9, and then 24 minus 21 is 3, which reduces to 3 over 1, or just 3. For each change in y is going to increase by 3. So starting with my 14, if I add 3, it's going to give me 17. So my next order pair is 22, 17. If I take the 17 and add 3, that's going to give me 20. So my next order pair is 23, 20. Double checking my work, 20 plus 3 should give us the next point, which is 23 for our y coordinate. Then taking the 23 and adding 3, I get 26, so my last order pair is 25, 26. Graphing with slope and y-intercept. To sketch the graph of a linear equation of the form y equals mx plus b, first you plot the y-intercept, then use m to plot a second point. So you will go up or down, then over. Sketch the line that passes through the two plotted points. Determine the slope and y-intercept of the graph of y equals 2x minus 5. In this example, we're then going to use the slope and y-intercept to graph the equation. Our first step is to make sure it's in the slope-intercept form of a line. Since it is, we can pick out our slope, which is the number in front of x, 2, or we can write it as 2 over 1, which puts it in the rise over run format. Now we want to pick out the b. Since it's plus b, the minus sign stays with the 5, so I can also write my order pair 0, negative 5 as the y-intercept. Then I want to plot 0, negative 5 on my graph. From there, I want to use my slope and rise up 2 and run over 1. And now I'm ready to put my second dot. I can draw my line at this point, or I can continue to use the slope to find additional points. Once I have as many points as I want, I can draw my line. So now I've graphed the equation y equals 2x minus 5. For this example, we need to find the slope and y-intercept of 2 parentheses x minus 2y close parentheses plus 1 equals 9. Then find the slope and y-intercept and graph the equation. First thing we need is to get our equation in slope-intercept form. So that means I need to get it as y equals. So the first step is to distribute the 2. 2 times x is 2x minus 2 times 2y is 4y plus 1 equals 9. Then I want to subtract 1 from both sides. So now I have 2x minus 4y equals 8. Then subtract 2x from both sides, so negative 4y equals negative 2x plus 8. Then I want to divide both sides by negative 4. So y equals 1/2 x minus 2. Now that I've simplified my line, I have y equals 1/2 x minus 2. It's in the format of y equals mx plus b, so I can easily find my slope and my y-intercept. My slope is 1/2, and my y-intercept is negative 2. So I'll go over 0 and down 2 on my y-axis and plot my point. Now I can go up 1 and then right 2 to get my second point. I can now draw my line, or I can continue to go up 1 and over 2 to create more points. I also have the option of going down 1 and back 2 to create additional points. When you have at least 2 points, you are now ready to draw your line. So now we have the line for 2 parentheses x minus 2y close parentheses plus 1 equals 9. In this example, we're going to determine whether the given pair of lines is parallel, perpendicular, or neither. If the lines are parallel, they will have the same slope. If the lines are perpendicular, their slopes will multiply to equal negative 1. To find the slope, both equations need to be in the form of y equals mx plus b. Y equals 2/3 x minus 2 is already in the slope-intercept form, so m equals 2/3. 3x plus 2y equals 8 needs to be solved for y. Subtract 3x from both sides. So I have 2y equals negative 3x plus 8. Then I want to divide everything by 2, so y equals negative 3 over 2x plus 4. So the slope for our second line is negative 3 over 2. 2/3 does not equal negative 3 over 2, so the lines are not parallel. 2/3 times negative 3 over 2 gives us negative 6 over 6, which equals negative 1. So our two lines are perpendicular. Meaning of slope for equations, graphs, and tables. For the equation, we use y equals mx plus b, the slope-intercept form of a line. In the graph, your slope is rise over run. And in the table, if we have our change in x equal to 1, then our slope is equal to the change in y. When we're graphing with the slope and y-intercept, first you want to make sure your equation is in slope-intercept form. Then we find the slope and the y-intercept. On the graph, you plot the y-intercept, then you move up or down, then left or right, based on your slope.